Today, we are going to be discussing vocabulary from Chapter 3. These terms are going to relate to the Paleolithic and Neolithic age. Both of these ages are periods during the prehistoric time, meaning writing had not yet been created. The first term we are going to define is Paleolithic. Paleolithic is relating to the earliest period of the Stone Age. The word Paleolithic specifically means old stone. During this time period, the people are referred to as nomads. These nomads are people who move around from place to place as a group to find food. So meaning these people do not have a permanent settlement. The groups are normally made up of about 20 to 30 individuals, and they also have different roles. The men and women specifically do not have the same roles within a nomadic group. The next term we are going to discuss is technology. Technology are tools and methods to perform a task. With this discovering of technology, they make tasks easier. The next term we are going to talk about is an ice age. An ice age, guys, is a extremely long period of cold that is affecting all of the earth. Specifically, a time when glaciers have covered much of the land. So big sheets of ice are covering some of the continents, such as Europe, Asia, and North America. The next term we're going to talk about is domesticate. Domesticating animals is really going to come about during the Neolithic time period. Domesticate is to adapt an animal to living with humans for the advantage of humans. These animals are going to be used for transporting goods and providing people with meat, milk, and wool. So using these animals for food and clothing as well. Domesticating, as I mentioned, has come about during the Neolithic time period. This Neolithic age is referred to as relating to the earliest period of the Stone Age, meaning new stone. Along with the domesticating of animals, systematic agriculture is going to come about. Systematic agriculture is taking place during the shift between nomadic societies to the settlement. So instead of being in nomadic groups traveling around from place to place, people are really going to start living in one place. So systematic agriculture is the growing of food on a regular basis. This growing of food is eventually going to lead to what we call a surplus of food, meaning there is extra. They don't need all of the food that they are growing. Religion is a big aspect of ancient civilizations. During this time period, they worshipped in places that they refer to as a shrine. So a shrine is specifically a place where people can go and worship. Along with systematic agriculture, as I mentioned previously, it is eventually going to lead to a surplus of food. So the amount of farmers that were once needed are no longer going to be needed. So this is where the specialization of jobs is going to come in to play. Specialization is the act of training for a particular job. So some people are going to be artisans, some people are going to be skilled workers. They are really going to focus on making weapons, making jewelry, that they are going to eventually end up trading to neighboring communities. So just as we mentioned the Neolithic age and the Paleolithic age, there's also going to be a Bronze Age. The Bronze Age is a period in ancient human culture when people began to make and use bronze. By using bronze, it makes weapons sturdier. Bronze is expensive. It's hard for people during this time period to afford. So people are still going to continue making tools and weapons out of stone. As I mentioned earlier, religion is a key important aspect to ancient civilizations. So is a government. A government is going to be the way these civilizations function. So specifically in the Paleolithic and Neolithic time period, they are going to have a monarchy. A monarchy is a government whose ruler, a king or a queen, is going to inherit the position from their parent. So it's going to be passed down from their parents to one of their children. You are going to see these terms throughout the entire chapter 3 dealing with the Paleolithic and Neolithic time period.